What's up, guys, and welcome to another edition of Market Marauders, beating the market one trade at a time. Your new Market Marauders investment channel helps you to find the best deals in the market. If that's something you're interested in, make sure you smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. Definitely helps the YouTube algorithm promote the videos. So, be giving you my weekly options watch list from the standpoint of Webull. So, it's been a crazy week this week. A lot of things going on. Next week we got the election coming up. The market as a whole was kind of red majority of the week. It seemed like there was the beginning of a sell-off, the beginnings of a mini market crash. Dow was low, S&P 500 was low. Just a lot of the overall market itself was low. But with that being said, let's jump into some options for next week. So first on here, I want to talk about Wayfair, ticker sign W. Moving average 10 is $272.87. Moving average 50 is $290.94. And moving average 100 is $266.51. If we look at where they ended the week today, they are bearish denoted by their moving average 10 going below the moving average 50. But hopefully they can rally up next week because next week they do have an earnings coming up. So let's jump into some background information on them. On the channel, I like to give background information on the stock because I believe just looking at the stock and looking at candle patterns is not like true investing. I think true investing or true stock trading, you have to go deeper into the actual background of the stock and see what they have going on and see what catalysts you can use to your advantage to make better trades. So let's jump into Wayfair. Wayfair, this is their last earnings. And in my opinion, their earnings was really good. So their quarter two net revenue growth of 84% year over year to $4.3 billion, to 26 million active users or active customers, up 46% year over year. Total net revenue increased to $2.0 billion. Increased $2 billion to $4.3 billion, up 83.7% year over year. U.S. net revenue increased to $1.7 billion, up 82.5% year over year. International net revenue increased to $310.2 million, up 90% year over year. So their metrics overall were pretty fantastic for the company. I think the company had a really good streak of just wins during the pandemic. A lot of people ordered furniture, rearranged their house, got desks, things like that to be working home remotely. And this is one of the companies that was able to take advantage of that. So just like Amazon, people bought a lot of stuff off Amazon. I think a lot of people bought a lot of stuff off of Wayfair because they sell a lot of furniture. So like desks, the desks that move up and down. You got couches, maybe bean bags, filing cabinets, things of that nature to, support them for the remote working. So why do I have them on the list? Because they have an earnings coming up. The earnings is going to be next week on the 3rd, so make sure you check that out. If you're not familiar with earnings, you can just go and click this link or just Google Wayfair Investor Relations. And then on Investor Relations, you can actually go in and listen to this. So you want to go and jump in during the time where you actually can hear the information. So it says it's going to be at 8 a.m. Eastern time. So try to come in around that time and get the information. A lot of good information comes from earnings, and you can learn a lot of good information that they don't release in press releases. So I think people have the misconstruction that earnings, are invaluable to listen to because you're just going to post the article anyway after the earnings, or you could just read some article and figure out how they did. But people actually call into some of these meetings, and investors ask questions. Those questions are not posted in the press releases, so you can get a little more insight and give yourself a little level up above the competition when getting the answers to those questions. So with that being said, going into Wayfair, going to the option side, I'm going to say around January 15th time frame. I think it's a good time that this can execute. And going with the way that I think Wayfair is going, I think, which may seem a little rash, but I think a put is the best option. So not only is the overall market as a whole going down, in my opinion, but Wayfair had a fantastic earnings last quarter. So I think it's going to be very difficult for them to top that earnings that they had last quarter. And with the market being so volatile as it is, I think expectations are extremely high for any company that's going to be having earnings. So even though they may have a good earnings and it may beat the estimates, I think the stock itself will go down and sell off because the whole market is selling off as a whole. And on top of that, they wouldn't be beating the earnings that they had last time. So, when they give earnings, they usually give year over year metric, but I think the quarter over quarter metric is usually like Q3 to Q3. But I think the Q2 to Q3 earnings is a really important metric to look at because I think it's going to show that they've kind of lost steam as far as people buying things because of the pandemic. So, with that being said, I think a put is the best option on Webull. The right-hand side is put, the left-hand side is calls. So a put basically means you believe the stock is bearish, which means you believe the stock's going to go down. A call means you believe the stock is going to go up, or it's bullish. So the bid side is the buy side, and the ask side is the sell side. So I only buy calls or buy puts. I don't sell calls or sell puts. A lot of people have different option trading strategies, but that's just strategy I like, so that's the one I stick to. And me personally, its 52-week high range is 349. It's already at 248, which is almost 100 down below its moving average. Its 52-week high. So I believe that it can go down even further. Not going to say it's going to go all the way down to like 140 because that's kind of a ridiculous number. But I can say it could probably go down to about 200 to the 240 range. So if you're looking at that range, I think between 1,000, what you'll be paying is between $1,310 per option to $2,950 per option. Now, just bear in mind, this is when the market is closed, so those prices will fluctuate. The things you want to consider when looking at options is the strike price. So this strike price will remain stagnant, but this price right here will change based on when the market opens. So the market is closed right now, so this is changing. When the price fluctuates, some of these will be in the money, some of these will be out of the money. So in the money basically means that if you're looking at a call, you believe the stock's going to go up, then this price right here would be considered in the money. So this would drop below here, and then 260 would be the next strike. So if you're looking for a put, then you'd be in the money for a put if the price goes down. So if it goes down, then you're in the money for a put. If it goes up, then you're in the money for a call because calls are bullish, puts are bearish. So that's just a small little synopsis of that. Let's jump to the next one. So the next one that's going to be on my watch list is going to be ticker sign PYPL, and that is for PayPal. So if we look at PayPal, their moving average 10 is $199.32. Moving average 50 is $195.45, and the moving average 100 is $187.50. The current time of watching or this video, they're actually bullish at the current moment. So their moving average 10 line is above the moving average 50 and the moving average 100. So that's a pretty good metric for the company that I believe. So looking at that, we can see that it is bullish at the current moment or at the time of this video, and it ended the day or the week at 186.13. It went up 37 more cents, did it at 186.50, but I don't use that measure to determine if a stock is bearish or bullish. I use this moving average 10 line, so just bear that in mind. And when you watch the video, the price will be different. So why do I have them on my list? This is the main reason why I have them on my list. PayPal launches a new service enabling users to buy, hold, and sell cryptocurrency. Now, if you're not familiar with what PayPal is like one of the companies that does majority of the transactions on the internet. Just about every small business or business in general has a PayPal account where you can buy or you can accept money or where your funding goes. I have a PayPal account, which is down below in the description. If you guys want to donate for the information, I will gladly take it. I'll appreciate the donations. But PayPal is basically used for day-to-day transactions. And, with the pandemic going on, I see more businesses moving towards online. But PayPal, in introducing the ability to use cryptocurrency, is just an amazing thing in my personal opinion, because the amount of users on PayPal is actually larger than most of the banks. So they have 26 million merchants worldwide. So that's 26 million people who can now trade cryptocurrencies, buy and sell them. So that's just opening up the floodgates for people who are going to get into crypto. One of the main things about crypto is a lot of people were like, I don't know where to go to get it. I don't have any secure place, what if somebody hacks my account or something like that? But now, everyone knows PayPal. And if PayPal is the one that is doing it, that's kind of the gateway between, a person and crypto, then they may be more comfortable using PayPal to try to acquire more crypto, which is going to make the whole crypto market, in my personal opinion, just go up. So, that's your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, your Dogecoin, any coin really that's in the digital currency sphere. So I think it was a pretty smart move from this company. And, I think more people are going to be using it as it goes on. So with that being said, going into the option side, we're going to look at ticker sign PYPL, and that's for PayPal. So we're going to type that in there. And then we're going to go to January 15th. Going to stick with that date. In my personal opinion, PayPal's 52-week high is 215.83, and I think personally that they will continue to go up. Even though they were down some today, I think this is a very huge move for the company, and I think in longevity terms, you can see more and more people adopting PayPal as the time goes on, because it's going to be the growth of crypto. So with that being said, and 215 being its 52-week high, I think if you go between 220 to 250, I think that's a pretty good price to have. So 220 to 250 on the call side, you're going to be looking to pay between $530 per option to $174 per option. So a little bit cheaper than the Wayfair ones, but I really do believe that this is going to be usher in the new wave of crypto. Now, crypto is not a new thing. It's not new, but more people having access to it will make the crypto market as a whole continue to grow. So going to the next one on here, we got ticker sign SQ, and that is for Square. Square is similar to PayPal, but different in its own aspects. So their moving average 10 is 173.60. Moving average 50 is 163.84. Moving average 100 is $143.35. So we can see on here they ended the day at $154.50. But it looks like, they are bullish, denoted by this moving average 10 being above the moving average 50 and 100, but are falling or fell off towards the end of the day. So I'm going to look Monday to see if this actually bounces from this value, or if it continues to go down even past the moving average 100. So once it goes past there, I'll have confirmation that it is on a bearish downtrend, and then I would say, okay, that's bearish. At the current moment, I would say it's bullish, even though this metric is below this moving average 50. So going into some stuff from Square. So Square's jumping on the cryptocurrency train, and they said that they're investing $50 million into Bitcoin. So they're trying to secure the bag, basically, and they purchased 4,709 Bitcoin just to store away for the company to preserve their capital. So that also is another thing that is just making me affirm the fact that crypto is here to stay, and there's about to be a huge boom in cryptocurrencies. With a company putting $50 million in Bitcoin, they don't put that amount of capital into something they don't believe is a secure investment. It's not like just one person making that decision. There's a whole team of people. You got your CFO, you maybe the CEO, some board members. There are a lot of people who have to actually approve this money being spent in this manner. So if they didn't wholeheartedly believe that Bitcoin, was something secure, then they wouldn't be putting $50 million of their money into it to, invest for crypto. So I think that's a pretty, powerful move from the company, and I definitely see other people jumping into that space. Now, Square does have an earnings coming up. The earnings going to be on the 5th, 2 p.m. Pacific time or 5 p.m. Eastern time. So it's going to be after the market closes. The same deal, you go to Square Investor Relations and then click this one, this link right here. Then it'll send you to the portal where you can listen to the earnings. So with that being said, and all the stuff going on with them, going into the option side, looking at Square, and then I'm going to go to the July 15th date. I think, in my personal opinion, that a put is the best option. Now, you'll be saying, why are you saying a put? They're already, storing cash reserves into Bitcoin. That, I think, will have long-term compounding positive effects. But short-term, I don't think it's going to be, too positive of news for the company moving forward. Also, the fact that Square is a similar service to PayPal, and Square has not announced that they're using Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. So until they make that update, I think people will be using PayPal more than they'll be using Square. Now, once Square jumps on the cryptocurrency, train, and they start, allowing people to buy and sell cryptocurrency like PayPal has, then I will say, okay, yeah, maybe it's going to start to turn bullish once that announcement comes out. But I, to my knowledge, have not heard that announcement. So I think investors would be making a smarter decision investing with PayPal or using PayPal than to use Square. Now, I'm not saying Square is a better service overall. They had a fantastic couple of quarters and have been doing pretty good as far as the market is concerned. But I think, there's going to be a downturn for them with PayPal being the kind of golden goose in this scenario. So I think a put is the best option in my personal opinion. And I think if you go between $110 as a strike price to $130 as a strike price, I think it's a good range with the January 15th expiration date. And then you're going to be looking at between $635 per option to $234 per option or per contract. So just bear that in mind. And that's just to buy a put. So jumping into the next one, we have ticker sign PL. Here it is. PTON for Peloton Interactive. Now, Peloton Interactive, their moving average 10 is 122.01. Moving average 50 is 177. And the moving average 100 is 81.15. They ended the day at $100.10. $110.26. And are bullish, denoted by this moving average 10 line being above the moving average 50 and the moving average 100. So they are bullish at the time of this video. So jump to some background information on them. They are having their earnings as well. Their earnings is going to be the same day as Square, so November 5th at the exact same time, which is 5 p.m. Eastern time. So you can go and click on it on here, but you may say, why do I have Peloton on here, and why am I choosing, the company? Is it just for earnings? I don't think it's just for earnings. I've been watching Peloton for a while, and one of the things that I think they have going for them in a negative way is that they had a large recall on a lot of their bikes. Now, you may be saying, recalls happen all the time with companies. Why is this such a big deal? It's because it's their main source of income. Like, they specialize in bikes, and they had a recall on bikes. Granted, it was older model bikes, but still, a lot of people during the pandemic, when it was shut down, bought their bikes. So if their bikes are having recalls and gyms are starting to open back up or are open back up, I feel like people would rather go to the gym than to be at home using a bike, especially hearing news that the bikes are defective. So with that being said, we're going to go to the option side for Peloton. It is January 17th. And as far as options is concerned, I think a put is a good option. So, going on puts, I think if you look between $60 to $90 is a good range to have. So 60 to 90, you're going to be looking to pay between $610 per option for a put to $75 per option or per contract for a put. So bear in mind, this is when the market is closed, so these prices will change once the market opens. So going to the last one that I want to talk about that's going to be on my option watch list. And if you want to join Webull and get 2 free stocks when you deposit $100 or more, make sure you click the link down below. And that is the perspective that I'm giving this video from is Webull. I like Webull. I like their charts. And going to the last one we're going to have is NIO. So NIO has been on just a crazy run. Just a crazy, phenomenal run in the past week. So their moving average 10 is $28.25. Moving average 50 is $21.59. And moving average 100 is $16.41. They ended the week at $30.74. So pretty good metric as far as that's concerned. They tested this 32.20 value, which is actually their 52-week high. So 52-week high is 32.20, and they tested that this week. So they actually set a new 52-week high. What was that? On the 29th, they set that high. So, fell off just a little bit, but are still bullish as far as the time of this video. So going into NIO, this is a semi-old article, the beginning of October, but basically shows that their delivery numbers increased 133.2%. And then they had an increase in the 3 months, so delivery of 12,206 vehicles in 3 months ended September 2020, increasing by 154.3%. NIO deliveries or delivered 26,375 vehicles in 2020, increasing to 113.7%. So I think the company overall is just doing fantastic. This company is based in China, so just bear in mind they do not function the same way Tesla or something else functions. This is a company that is solely based in China but trades in the U.S., so you can't compare them to the way that American manufacturers are moving. So with that being said, I think going into the option side for NIO and the fact that it already tested that 52-week high or made a new 52-week high, I think a call is the best option for NIO. I think NIO can go, pretty high. Just compare it to how high Tesla is and how high Tesla has continued to go. NIO is only at $30, and that's not with the reverse split. So I think they have potential to continue to go higher, even higher, especially with more delivery numbers coming out. So I think a call is the best option for NIO. They already hit that 32-week value, so I do see them, breaking past that pretty soon. So going into the call side, I think, you'd be safe if you do around 31 to 35. Now, it's a very small range, but I do believe, saying plus $5 is not that difficult of a metric for them to hit, especially if they get new delivery numbers and it increased more than the delivery numbers that they currently have. So with that being said, you're going to be looking to pay between $530 per contract if you buy a $31 strike price. And if you go to 35, you're going to be looking to pay between $390 per contract. So, in the $100 range for most of these, some cheaper than others, some a little more expensive than others, like Wayfair. But that's my watch list for the week. Hope everybody has a good week trading out there. Make sure you watch the election. Watch what goes on next week with the election. Stocks are going to fluctuate, quite a bit with whomever is chosen as president. But make sure you look at it. Make sure you look at updates and read a lot of articles. Do your due diligence and lock in those profits. So good luck to everybody trading out there next week, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.